Jim, everyone. I think we are coming live right now. Let me make a quick check. Oh. Yeah, we're live. So basically, I'm going to start in a second. There we go. So, Jim, everyone, this is day 7 of Journey of a Vibe Trader. I'm Jeremy. I started my vibe trading journey about 100 days ago, 3 months plus. And it's been 7 days since I'm journaling kind of what I've been doing. For those who do not follow, I am the founder of myquant.gg, which is basically a platform where I'm using myself as I'm journeying into being a vibe trader. I'm developing some tools and systems, and I'm making it available for more people. I started a journey 100 days ago with 9K portfolio. Today I'm $9,664. Down pretty bad actually from the last week. It was a rough week. We're gonna talk about it. It was a rough week for almost all my trading instruments. But what we're gonna see is interesting, is because having ups or downs is journey of a trader. I feel that's completely normal. The question is to learn from them. And I treat my capital that I'm using for this kind of a journey as an experiment. So I'm simply learning as I'm doing. And obviously, the money matters. I'm not gonna waste it, but I'm trying to think about it calmly. It's not what I'm gonna use to live month to month, or to make it. It's really to understand what system do work and what system do not work. So we're gonna, in this episode of today's stream, we're gonna go through the bots and the day trading, what didn't work, what the learnings are, because there are quite some interesting learnings, and how I intend to do moving forward. Again, none of what I say is financial advice. We're all learning together. Um, and as a general thing, again, as a reminder, I'm not going to show you charts of and trying to read the charts or give you macro news. I'm really looking at trading through data, stats, systems that basically help me predict what's going to happen next in terms of pricing only, and being reliable over time. It will make me win. So let's dive in quickly. What you see behind me, again, it's the arena. Tells us we have like 100, like couple hundreds prediction agents. Essentially, their only goal is to predict long or short. These ones are asked once a day to predict the price, the direction of Bitcoin in 24 hours. Majority are short. But the prediction happened at 3 p.m. UTC, so a couple hours ago. But yeah, they're still pointing shorts. Essentially, they predicted the shorts with an entry at 16,367. So it's a bit more down than the current price. So the market is rebounding a bit. And then we have the 1 hour as well. They're very short on the 1 hour prediction agents predicting what's going to happen. So just as a small note here, this data alone is tough to use for your own understanding. I mean, you can look at the accuracy, but it's close to a coin flip for the best agents, and the worst are interesting to counter trade. But there's actually much more actionable data in them, into models that I've trained the data on and that I'm using on my own. I will make it available. I'm planning to do it this week. But yeah, let's first go into the salty news. It's salty data, which is the overall portfolio of Journey of Vibe Trader performance today. So we have 7 different trading instruments. 6 are trading bots, more or less sophisticated. 1 is day trading. And so we see that we went from like 11K months ago to 9,600. So I think it tells us two things. One is probably that my sizing is too aggressive. So I'm probably sizing more and more aggressively than I should regarding the portfolio because it's a big drawdown, right? On 1 week. And to be honest, on the 100-day period I've been doing it, it's probably the single worst week. And it's interesting because a lot of things go wrong altogether. And we're gonna go through that to understand what actually went wrong. And also emotionally, how do you cope with a bad week, right? Where multiple things do go wrong. There are something that went well as well. But yeah, let's start with the worst one, which is basically the Polymarket bot that is trained on machine learning based on technical analysis only. This one was performing really well over time, but this week it did a terrible streak. And there's a very, very good reason for that. I'm going to tell you in a second. So, yeah. So what happened? Why did we go from 1900 to 1250? So the way the bot was created, right? It was using a machine learning model based on technical analysis. So every single hour, we were computing a lot of data and indicators, and based on all the backtest, he was able to predict that the price most likely gonna go up or down compared to now in next hour. And the overall accuracy of the bot was 60% accuracy. But it had different tiers. So there was 4 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And each tier was based on a different set of combination of indicators and times of the days and so on and so forth. And what happened was tier 4 basically went to like 40%, even 39% accuracy over the last couple of weeks. And it was the one that fired the most often. So basically the signal went bad, this one. The rest was fine, but just this one created all of the loss on this bot. It's still up overall, the whole thing, but it's not good. And so what I did learn there, very interesting lesson, that basically you need to not only monitor how all the system perform. Not only do you need to make sure the sizing is correct, you need to add other safeguards to preserve you from big drawdowns. Number one is probably pause the bot after you have very bad streak, and just you can always see what happened and trying to understand if anything went wrong. Number two is every single model gets outdated at some point, and this one had this happen to it. So the market regime changed in May. Essentially, May, it was very different on all the data from all my bots than the last 4, 5, 6 months, even 1 year. So we had a market regime change this month, and it made a lot of instruments and tools kind of obsolete. So they were trained on data, but right now this data is not correct anymore. So it tells me the importance of retraining constantly to make sure that your models are still up to date and correct. And so I didn't have this, and it just happened that in a couple of days this degraded a lot. Now the question is, how do you figure out if the bad performance is due to variance, the fact that in all strategies you can have bad streaks, or the strategy is outdated? And by retraining the model, you are able to figure it out. You're able to understand, okay, this actually is not correct anymore. Overall, as a model, it lost its statistical edge, or even reversed it, right? And so that's what happened. And so now I've changed this bot. It's still running, but I've added some safeguards. That's number one. And number two, I've added some retrains. I think on this specific one, it's weekly retrain. So it's gonna every week automatically it's going to collect all the new data, all the new candles, and add them and collect them into the ensemble that build the model, and it's going to retrain the whole thing to and then adjust parameters. So if on the retrain some, for instance, a big filter on top of the indicators was hour of the day, specific hours like Asia times or other hours were very good because of probably the low volatility, we're much more able to predict the price precisely. But some of these hours completely changed in terms of performances. So we were predicting the other way, and so it basically is going to check if these criteria and others are still true or not. Based on that, it's going to adapt. That's for the Polymarket bot. The other Polymarket bot, which is very small, it's basically like flat for now. So we don't have much to say. It's a little bit down, but these are like normal variants. Now let's look into manual trading. So as you can see here, well, all of my trades currently are at loss, but they are very small trades because, as I'm telling you, I'm more into a strategy of DCAing into good trade setup. So I see the setup, and now I'm basically putting like $100 or $200 at 2x leverage almost every day to just enter into statistically good trade setups from good strategies that have high win rate, good EV per trade, etc. So right now I'm also mostly playing longs because longs historically are more performing than shorts for Bitcoin in terms of trading strategies, technical analysis only. So I'm still playing my game, even though, as you can see, the ratio, and it's been the case for a couple of days, and probably I should have listened to it more, is like predominantly, mainly short. Is much more short signals right now than long. And even though the confidence score are skewed towards long, so it's better for long, well, the shorts are, even though they have bad confidence score, they are really interesting still. For instance, they have really high win rates. This one has 88% win rate, and so they are really good indicators of short-term price action. This one has 68% win rate on 26,000 or 27,000 trades across a 2 years period. So its accuracy is really good, and it can tell you a lot about price action. This one is not so tight, and it's telling that the price could go down 4.8 more percent. And it was true historically for 70% of the time. It also has a very short average time per trade, so I think this one is good to indicate like big moves. But maybe I might need to check out the data here. It looks a bit weird. Anyway, so yeah. So the question is, what do you do, right? You are stuck with your capital in 2 trades. So some are going to hit stop loss right now. They're very close. But it's all right. I'm still overall in profit with my day trading with quant, as I'm showing here. But I just take like bigger hit, right? And so it's so the question is, what do you do in this scenario? Well, in this scenario, I think even if mentally it's difficult, you need to, if you believe the system is going to be reliable and good over time, then you need to just like stick to it. The goal is to take as many trades and follow the plan as possible, because if they are all statistically EV plus, then you will make money over time. The difficult thing is about the sizing, right? So if you size too much into trades, which I was doing before, then you can get hurt and on a big loss. So yeah, I'm mostly trying to rethink my sizing strategy right now, and more like DCA into trades, and maybe when things go more in my direction, then be a bit more active. But I've also learned that I need more elements to make a decision. I need more sophisticated signals. All the signals we provide, they're very good, but most of them are like 2 weeks average time per trade. That's basically the time based on the back test that these trades resolved, either in loss or in gains. And I realized that these are very good, but I want other stuff to trade with for my day trading. This helps me, have like 2 weeks horizon trades, so swing trades. But I also want to do like more day trading or even semi scalping, so intraday, couple hours trades. And our system right now is not optimized for that. But we're gonna bring them on. We're gonna bring these kind of scalping good trades that you will be able to do as well, to be more active in the day. So yeah, that's kind of it for the day trading with Quant. Right now, we're gonna check all the trading systems on Hyperliquid, what they did. Let's start with the good one, which actually is the only good one that happened last week. So here we go. So this bot is the only one that is up on the week. And this is my most sophisticated bot, my most sophisticated trading system of all. And the way it works is not so hard. So I've trained all the data using machine learning. What I put in the data set to train that model is, one, I put a lot of trading strategies that are like based on technical indicators. So strategy is like simple, classic trading strategies, blue chip trading strategies. On one side. On the other side, I've added all the prediction agents, binary option agents that I showed you that we have in Quant Arena that do predict long and shorts. And when we combine them together, they have a good stats. And so I've combined these two approaches into one smart system. And what the system does is that every hours, it gives a score to say out of 1, can be between -1 and +1. And based on the score, it's more or less bullish. The closer it is to 1, the more bullish it is. The closer it is to -1, the more bearish it is. And so this system, like basically every single hour, it's giving you a score that gives a direction that is tradable. And so in the backtest of this system, I realized that when you have a threshold, I put the threshold at 0.2 or -0.2. So if the score is between -0.2 and +0.2, then there is no trade. But if the score is more than 0.2, then we're going to a long trade. And if it's if it's lower than -0.2, then we're going to a short trade. And so, yeah, that's basically how it works. And if you look at the trade history of this bot, let's say from let's say it started here on May 15th, because last week it was not really active. Right now it's active. And so the way it works, so every hour it kind of it computes this data and it tells you, are we long or short? But then this bot has 4 different ways to close a trade. There are smart ways. So number 1 is a classic stop loss. And we use what we call ATR, average true range, which I'm not going to go in details. If you're interested, you can ask me. I'll answer. But yeah, gquant, everyone. I was just checking the comments. But yeah, gquant. So what it does, average true range. Average true range is an indicator that looks at all the past, the recent past candles. So for instance, I'm going to check the last 14 candles on 1 hour. And we're going to see on average what volatility each candle has. So is Bitcoin on average moving $300 ups or down on the last 14 candles? Each candle is on average moving $300 in one direction or another. Or is it $600 and so on and so forth? And that gives us the volatility of the asset. And that tells us right now we are in a market regime which is very volatile. Or right now we're in a market regime which is very calm. And our stop loss is calculated based on this ATR. it's calculated based on how volatile the market is. Because if the market is very volatile right now, if you put a tight stop loss, it will trigger all the time. So you need to put it a bit higher. So that's number one, the stop loss. That's one way that this bot closes a trade. A second way this bot closes a trade is a timeout. So if after 24 hours it didn't hit stop loss or take profit, or the other methods, it just like closes a trade no matter what. The third method is trailing stop loss. So after we reach plus 1% in profit, it's gonna put a trailing stop loss like at 0.3% below the best price every time it's reached. So it's in order to go as high as possible while preserving the gains that you did. Right. And the fourth method is, I can't remember. I wrote it down somewhere on Twitter. Let me check. What is the fourth method? Yeah, here it is. Oh yeah, the fourth method is signal reversal. So let's say the bot is short. It has a trade that is short, that is currently open. But now in the new hour, the model recomputes everything, and now it's triggering a long signal at like plus 0.6 or something, like very, very long. Then what happened that it closes a short and immediately changes into a long, right? So these are the four methods to essentially that this bot can close a trade. And so this is the most sophisticated of all the bots because it's very adaptable. It has the strongest data sets based on different uncorrelated data points, which are the indicators and the agents. And so let's look at what it did in reality, because it was very interesting. So on May 15th, it opened a long, right, at 81K. Then, and it was at 4 a.m. Then at 2 p.m., it not only did it close the long, but it basically used the method of reversal. So the score flipped from long to short. Our model said right now we're very short. And so it actually closed, flipped direction, which incurred a loss, like $13. But then it really catched the trend, right? Because it closed the long, opened the short at 18.559, and only 1 hour and 45 minutes later, it closed it at 779. So it did 108 in profit. So it was good enough to adapt to what just happened, right? Like there was it was like spotting long, etc. But some big movements happened. Understood. Okay, I'm gonna flip short right now. I flip and boom, I'm limiting the loss and I'm locking the gains. And then it continued to be short 1 hour later. So it said, okay, we're still short. I'm gonna open a new short. And then it closed it 18 hours later with another good gains. And then it waited for a couple of an hour or so, and it says, okay, we're short again. Open, and then it closed in profit. It closed as well in profit. This time, as you can see, it was May 16 at 10 a.m. and it closed at May 17 at 10 a.m. So this time it basically reached the timeout rule. It's like, it's been 24 hours. Let's close the trade anyway. But then it recomputed and it says, okay, I'm still short, so I'm going to open a new short. And then it opened a new short, which was this morning. Was yesterday. And it did close the short yesterday. So it was today. Again in profit, so very good. It still managed to understand the good direction. And then today it acted a little differently. So it was still short, but there was a big pump at some point in the day. Right. How do do I do this? Deck. Yeah, so there was a big pump, shoop, and then the bot like correctly understood that this shift happened. So it did have a reversal. It went from it went from short to long, but then it actually got caught into the got caught into this kind of scam pump, and then it went down. So it did loss, and now it opened a new long. So it kind of changed its view on the market. Anyway, I'm going into a bit in details, but I think this is fascinating. Why? Because I want to build adaptable system that many people can have. So I want to build this kind of smart trade. How to say, the smart trade management. So with like a dynamic stop loss, trailing stop loss to lock in the profits and the ATR and all of these things into quant as well. So not only will you have these long swing trading signals, but you will have also this short term or like day trading with all of this complexity, all of these safeguards inside. So you will just click on the button because you think the trade is good, and then it will manage itself with this kind of system. So I think that's very good. Obviously, it's not going to work all the time, but in a very volatile regime where you can go up and down, which is exactly the case, this kind of system performs really well. So I'm very happy. I'll share all my findings. But that's a good one. That's that's the only win this week, but I think it's a big one. Another case that's very important. On each trade, I'm putting the whole equity of this bot at 5x leverage. So it's extremely risky. It's extremely aggressive. The point is, I want to stress test in real conditions, and I want to see if it can be meaningful over time. Like, it's not a huge size, obviously, but it's still more meaningful than $100, and you treat it as is. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. Let's look at the other bots quickly and see what happened. So we have two other Hyperliquid bots that are interesting. So we have this one, which has two sides. It has two sub accounts, one that is only long and one that is only short on Ethereum. And it uses only the prediction agents from the arena to basically open trades with fixed amount and then close the trades 24 hours later, no matter what. So it opened the trade and not going to touch it for 24 hours. 24 hours, it closes it. And per the back test, it should be quite performance. Per the reality, this week it was really bad. It went minus $207 because essentially it was very, very long. All the time it was flagging long, so it opened a lot of long, and then the market went the other way around. Now the question is this bot that performed really well in the back test, but is performing really bad this week, should we discard it or not? The question is not yet. It's too small of a sample. I've also added a retrain. This one retrains every single day on the new data of the prediction agents to make sure it's still correct overall. So there is a retrain. Yeah, the lesson is I should manage sizing much better, and maybe these types of bot that doesn't have any stop loss or take profit, but just like a rigid 24-hour rules, it's probably not the best, right? I should probably add rules like the other one has with ATR and dynamic stop loss and so on and so forth. Because this one is probably not really well set up like this, but I just want to see if it can flip and it can work over time. So yeah, this one's bad week as well. It seems like a lot are having a bad week. And the other one, the last one, which is kind of the best, but the best system I have, so far for a while, right? It's machine learning, simple, based on trading strategies, that's performed really well over the last 3 months. It did 2x. Now it's down quite a bit, and yeah, I mean, it didn't trigger the stop loss. The stop loss is at 73,000, so it could go down more. But this system, it has a more than 70% win rate. So far, we had 6 trades, 100% win rate. So I'm very confident that it will be great over time. But obviously, it's going to have some failures per the statistics and some drawdowns. And is it the case right now? I'm not sure, but yeah, it has probably one of the worst drawdowns so far. So we'll see how it goes, but this one needs to have some failures statistically, but still, it's I'm pretty confident it's gonna perform over time. So yeah, that's kind of a wrap up of all the trading I've been doing with all the systems, how they perform. And yeah, it was kind of a bad week, right? It was a bad week. Oh, I have another one, which is the real trading agents I have created on day 3 of the stream. And this one is also down $50 because essentially it's only long strategies. So it's supposed to be good long term, but it can have bad weeks or bad streaks on the short term. But yeah, it didn't hit any stop loss yet, but the unrealized P&L of every single position that's open is at loss currently. So I have 4 position, maximum out of 4. It did enter the 4 trades. As a reminder, all the strategies here are longs, and on average, they take 2 weeks to resolve, either stop loss or take profit. So everything is normal. It has, interestingly, a daily a max drawdown of already 5%. So this kind of bot is also quite aggressive on the sizing. You could do much more conservative if you want to protect your capital at all cost and only play to have very, very tiny moves, and then you should adapt the sizing more in consequences. So yeah, overall overall it's a bad week for all these trading instruments. Almost all of them. I think what's very interesting and important to see is, are all of this system correlated? And so is this why they're all performing bad on the short term? Or is this just a coincidence of bad setups and bad configuration? And the truth is like the two assumptions are correct. A lot of the systems are long strategies, so they will perform bad when the price go down, but on the long term they will be profitable. So there's a couple of these bots and strategies that are correlating in that way. And another one is basically I learned about the necessity for more safeguards and to add retrain on models that can get stale and outdated and then perform really bad. And so this was another coincidence that happened at the same time. So yeah, very good learning. As you can see, I'm going to be fully transparent. I'm going to share more findings, especially like the most important thing is I want more. I want more data, more ability, especially in my day trading, to be able to make decisions based on stats and probability of the assets. At this specific moment, I know the stat that in 60% of the case, the Bitcoin will go up in 1 hour, and in 65% of the case, it will go up in 24 hours or short. So this is the thing I really want to implement. So that's for the trading, and for the agents, I really want to add more sophisticated stop loss and take profit system, not just a rigid stop loss take profit for swing trades with 2 weeks resolve time, but a day trading system where you have very dynamic like trend chasing like systems, and also that lock in the gains and cover for the big losses. So yeah, that's kind of a wrap. That's it for today. Actually, I'm looking at the chat. I'm seeing quite a lot of questions. Sorry, I missed them. Chikwan Baba Sam. All right. So, question: where do you trade on? So I trade on. So I use Quant, which is the app we've developed, but the actual trade happens on Hyperliquid, which is what I was showing. And I also have some bots on Polymarket, and I'm trading the binary option market. Next question is no short option, or you picked long only. You can create bots with long. So essentially, the bots you either pick long or long only or short only. The reason is we're using Hyperliquid sub accounts in order for, so we do not have any control of your funds, except we can fire trades for you, but we cannot withdraw anything. And on Hyperliquid, you can only go long or short on a single asset at the same time. So if you want to have multiple positions open at the same time, you can have multiple long position on Bitcoin, but you cannot have like one long and one short. So that's why we're dissociating. But yeah, you can create short bots. We have all the strategies that you can select that mirror the longs for the shorts with all the EV per trade, etc., etc. And so you can create short bots as well. But yeah, as I said in an earlier stream, long strategies are much better over time than short strategies. And short strategies, usually they perform really well, but with very, very tight stop loss and tight take profit. So they're harder to execute. More people, more actors are aware of that. So they're trying to get these small short strategies and lock in the gains. But then you have to be super fast on execution, and you're not going to work. You're not going to win. They're like better actors that are going to just do that. So that's why longs are just better on the long term, and the shorts we offer are good. Some are very good, but you need to be much more selective. You need to look much more in details. And yeah, and the goal is to add more short strategies that are not just based on technical analysis, and that are based on other factors, and that will perform better over time. Next question: would it be a consideration to have an auto pause of the agent when the quality of signals is below a threshold? Yeah, actually. So right now you can already do it. If you create an agent on Quant, you can add the daily loss limit and the max drawdowns rules, which essentially will pause the agent if one of these is reached. But yeah, I think, and again, right now, like my most sophisticated bots, agents, like the one mixing AI and dynamic system, they are not deployed on Quant yet. They are, I like build them all manually, but they're not deployed because they're more sophisticated. But we're going to bring this sophistication into the whole system. So it's going to be much more sophisticated, and you can have a lot of dynamic things you can deploy. You'll be able to deploy your own machine learning models on all the data sets that we have. You can bring your own, deploy in one click, and then you can have all the rules you want to pose a bot. It can be daily limit, daily drawdown, max drawdown, based on the retrain of your model. If you want daily retrain of your ML model to make sure it's still up to date or bad streaks, all of this I intend to add in the upcoming weeks. Yeah, so that's the answer to your question, Sinterklaas. Robin, yeah, it's very good. If you guys have any question remaining, now is the time. Otherwise, I'll call it a day. And I hope and know that we'll have more green weeks. I think another thing I probably need to add to the system is periods where maybe it's better not to trade, right? So very, very unstable times where the predictions are for long or down, or for long or short, are switching a couple times a day. And if that's the case, it really means that, I mean, you can have the like trends following bots, the one I have, the sophisticated ones, it can work. But for your long-term signals, maybe it's too difficult to understand the moment. And so like a no trade scoring can be also an interesting one. I'm reading another question. As a trader, you would not want the agent to start trades with low quality confidence just for the sake of trading. Yeah, that's true. You do not want. So in all the system we built, we try to go around that. So you always have the confidence score. You always have the backtest data. So if the signal fires now, it means that it has this percentage of chance of success based on the whole backtest. Now the question is always, well, if I add other data points that manage to figure out the current market regime, maybe this percentage for this specific trade right now is different, because in this market regime it's acting a certain way, but in this other market regime it's acting another way. That's the whole point of machine learning, right? Machine learning models, they're able to understand all the correlation between all the data points and tell you, all right now, even if like the TA only signals fire a long signal with 70% win rate, but because of all these other data points, actually right now it has less and you should not take it, or vice versa. So that's basically what the machine learning is doing, right? It's going beyond just the good signals, the good strategies, and it's telling you, well, right now it's it's just adding a layer to your trading. But yeah, maybe there is a machine learning model that just tells you, right now we just don't know. So yeah, you just like don't trade. All right, let's wrap it up. I'll call it a day. I'll probably have another stream this week, and we'll see how things go. And I'll keep you updated on everything. On the quant side, for those interested, you can follow. Check the links in the descriptions. If you just like or comment this video, it's really helping. And yeah, with a lot of cool stuff coming, a lot of cool stuff that we're working on. Stay tuned. Have a good one. Cheers.